So we are halfway through Wednesday and this is group swap over now. So half of the year group have gone back on the coach, so we got them all sorted out this morning. We did some team building games to start with, then they cleared down their tents, then we've gone through all of the tents, cleared them out. The children have got on the coach. We've had a debrief with the children, which is really important, just to give them an update on how they've done and pick out a few champions out of the group that particularly impressed us with their politeness or their enthusiasm, their energy, their commitment to an activity, or just being brave for doing activities maybe they haven't done before. So some of them haven't even camped before as well, so that was a big undertaking. So we are now on a half-hour break at lunchtime, and this is an opportunity really for me just to have a walk around and make sure that the canoes are all okay. They've been out overnight in the rain, and paddles, etc., just to get those all prepped. All of the buoyancy aids are in the stores drying, and the cagoles they used yesterday, they're all in there drying, so that will be fine for them to use later. And then we'll await the second half of the year group coming. Yeah, that's always interesting because they're enthusiastic and the energy is there when they arrive. They're excited, they want to get in their tents and just get their group sorted, which is fine. They want to be with their friends, which is brilliant. And then we'll be doing 2 activity sessions this afternoon. So looking forward to that. So the weather today, yeah, not quite as good. The wind has dropped for definite. We had a little bit of sunshine yesterday afternoon, which was really brilliant when we were over the far side of the lake, which is behind me in the picture now. And yeah, the rain came overnight, pretty strong rain overnight and consistent, maybe 3-4 hours of rain. So a couple of tents had a few little leaks which had to be sorted out. And yeah, the rain's going to be interesting this afternoon because generally they don't have waterproof clothes and things like that, so they need to make sure they stay dry. So yeah, I'll give you an update a little bit later on. So that's the last session for Tuesday. In fact, we've only done one session today because the school actually arrived late. So another kind of thing as a freelancer you've got to be able to do is adapt. So there was other stuff that needed doing outside of running a session, so we were doing that while the school was getting the children prepped and into their tents and sorted out. And then we've run just one canoe session. So I'm running that on my own now because the teacher is not assisting, so that's fine. We just have to do the session a tiny bit different, especially getting on the water, because obviously that needs to be done in a safe way. And with the wind, there's still a little bit of wind on the lake, but not as bad as it was the first couple of days of the week. But we still have to think about how we're going to keep the children safe. So ideally we need an instructor on the bank and we need an instructor on the water. Obviously, if there's only one of you, that is difficult to do. So that took a little bit of adjusting to get that set up. So tomorrow, that will be a lot more fluent, and we should have 4 sessions running tomorrow. So that'll be a full day of canoe sessions and lots of other stuff going on as well. So again, as I pointed out in one of the videos earlier, you've got to be willing to just crack on with stuff, and that's been happening today. So we have been doing things like cleaning out tents. We then adjusted them and made sure they were pitched correctly and ready for the children when they arrived on the bus about 1 o'clock. So yeah, it's all go. And I have to say, from a tiredness level, yeah, it is pretty tiring. You're on the go for the whole day and you've got to be ready to help and sort everything out. We carry 2-way radios, so if there is something that needs doing, our manager is very quick to radio and you're expected to go and sort it out or help or do whatever needs doing. So I'll perhaps do an update later. I don't know what the evening activity is, but I'll do a little bit of an update later. So here we are, a little bit of an update for Thursday. So just the end of Wednesday we had a campfire, which was absolutely amazing. The children really loved that. And the leader that was running it was absolutely animated, energetic, enthusiastic, and was fantastic. So that made a brilliant campfire. And that finished just after 10 o'clock, so that was us finished then, so later night, last night. Then this morning we got up and it is extremely windy. So the very first session that we did was challenging because we started at the top of the lake and decided to bring the canoes round to the bottom of the lake. Essentially, that's the way the wind was blowing. It was a lot easier for the children just to go with the wind rather than fight against it. So that's what we did. Brought the canoes down to here. For the second session, we had to make a decision really, because it wasn't going to work with the canoes just with the children in. So we've rafted them up. So we've got 4 canoes using the painters, and we've tied them all together. And then we put in 3 children in each canoe, and we're just playing some games, wearing helmets for extra safety, and they can stand up then, move about in the canoes, change canoes, and we did a few games for the session. So that worked really well. Obviously the children wanted to paddle, which they couldn't do, but at least that gave them time actually on the water, which was part of the thing. And we're obviously working within the conditions that we've got on the lake. So that's important as well as a freelance instructor, is the ability to adapt to what is going on, and the conditions, and also the groups, what the groups actually want to do. And I'm getting better at being able to recognize that very quickly in a session and just switch around what we're doing, which games we're playing. So that worked really, really well. So 2 more sessions this afternoon, and then we've got a lot of cleaning and tidying up for the canoes. So we'll do an update later. Well, here we are, the end of Thursday now. So 4 days in, and yeah, finished the 2 sessions this afternoon with the canoes rafted up. It definitely wasn't so good because they did want to do some paddling, which they weren't able to do, but we kept them tethered to the side just for safety. So we did play some games though, and yeah, we had a little bit of a laugh, so that was good. We then, at the end of the last session, we've then taken all the canoes off the water, hosed them down, washed them, dried them, got them all back on the canoe trailer, and then moved the canoe trailer to its proper place. So that is all done. So I was just about then to go and get a shower, but it was time for the children to eat. So I've just served pasta to 55 children and then eaten dinner with them. I always sit with them, as I said, and then had a shower. So it is now coming up for 8 o'clock in the evening, and we've got 2 more activities planned for the children, and then they'll be off to bed. They are very tired today because they were up at 4:30, some of them, so pretty tired, but going very well. And to top it all, the school have rebooked for next year. So the activity week that's in is already booked for next year, and the provider has already asked me to come along and do my usual 5 days. So it's better for them because they know the instructor. Also, I know many of the teachers at the school. There's probably been 15 different teachers coming and going over the days that we've been here. So I get to know them. Some I get to know very well. And obviously we recognise each other and we can talk, and that's brilliant. And that goes down really well with the school, and it looks really good in front of the children because there's familiarity, and that makes them feel a little bit more secure. So that's brilliant. So we've got a couple more activities, and then we are into our last day, Friday. So that is going to be a pretty hectic day tomorrow. We've got a lot to do. So we'll catch up tomorrow. Well, this is the last day, so 5 days we've done. You can see my voice is starting to go from all the talking on the sessions and stuff, and also obviously talking to the children doing their lunches and bits. So yeah, it's a turn up for the books today because children were up at 4:30 yesterday, some of them, and today at the moment only 2 children are up, and it is 7:20. So little bit of a transformation there. So it does show the children are enjoying themselves, and obviously using a lot of energy as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So talking about energy, just to talk a little bit about physical fitness from my own point of view, you do have to be physically fit. You are obviously carrying canoes, you're moving canoes around, you're doing a lot of walking, probably, well, my watch is clicking 10,000 steps most days. So it is quite tricky to keep that physical fitness up. And also you're canoeing, so you know, 4 2-hour sessions per day, and you're probably on the water for over an hour of those, an hour and a quarter maybe, and you're doing a lot of paddling. So not distance wise, but backwards and forwards to children and canoes, bringing them back, towing them maybe. We did a couple of tows yesterday, so that obviously puts a lot of strain on, and you do not want to be getting off the water absolutely cream crackered, because you've got another session within another 10 minutes. So it is something to think about, just keeping your physical fitness. We're lucky this week because all our food is cooked for us, so we don't have to worry about that. And we are getting out the intake of calories, but when you're working sometimes at other centres where you don't get food, you've obviously got to do that yourself, and there isn't really time to sit there and cook a full-blown meal, so you're sometimes just doing beans in a pot with a couple of bits of bread, so it's not, you know, it's not great from a calories point of view. So there's a lot of takedown to do today. We've got to get all the tents down. The weather at the moment is looking a little bit cloudy. I don't think it's raining, but a little bit cloudy, and that is not going to make that job easier. It is a lot easier when it's sunny, because obviously the sun dries the tents from condensation, etc., and then the tents are going away dry. If they get packed away wet, then they need taking out on a dry day, maybe tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday, and then drying out and then repacking again. So that comes down to a few people left over the weekend rather than the 6 or 7 of us that are here over the week. So yeah, it's been a good week. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed meeting the children. So we'll have an update later. So there we go. That's the end of Friday now. Yeah, pretty busy day today. So a lot of taking down of tents. Some of them were wet from the rain previous couple of days, so we have to leave those to dry and then take them down a little bit later, which the children helped, and they actually really enjoyed that. It's a little bit taxing because they have to work out how to take down the tents, but they did enjoy it. And then we did a final activity and some orienteering for them. Then they had lunch and off went the children. So then that was pack down time for us. Yeah, there was a lot to do because there's lots of little things. It's just like packing to go on holiday. The big things are really easy, and then you start forgetting the little things. So yeah, there was lots of little things to sort out. So finally got away at about 3:30, and I've driven down to Oxford now. So I've got another day's activity tomorrow. That's the end of the week. So that's the end of the video diary for this particular activity week. It's a little bit of alternative video. There's not a lot of editing gone on, so please excuse me for that, but maybe it gives you a bit of an idea on the type of things that I do when I'm out doing my freelancing. I hope you enjoyed it. So we'll see you soon. Bye bye.